planted.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to SpikeTalk episode 19. It's been a while, but it's your boy babybay. I'm here with Frost. You already know what's good. I know you guys been waiting on this one, the champions recap / other things, you know, drama in the scene going on, whatever the fuck now. Blah, blah, blah. Excuse my language. EDG won champs, and this is probably the best thing that could ever happen in Valorant. To me, it was very unexpected. I didn't put them there as them winning the whole thing. I thought it was gonna be Heretics or even Sentinels after Sentinels beat Gen G. But holy, like, my God, like, it's so good for the game though, the fact that China won this championship, because if this game, and I think we've talked about this previously, if it becomes big in China, we're all eating. We're all eating, bro. And I think you could agree with that. I'm very happy for specifically KANGKANG, who went nuclear, bro. He got MVP of the tournament. And this is why I like tournaments, bro. This is why I like tournaments. And this was the stuff that you were trying to get your team to do, which you could have done it. EDG is proof of that, bro. They bombed so hard in Shanghai at their home grounds, their stomping grounds, you should say. They looked like trash, and now they just won the whole event, bro.
And Gen G won it, and then didn't make it out of groups.
Yeah, this is why tournaments are amazing. Seasons kind of suck, in my opinion, but
yeah, tournament players also showing up. I'll just start there. I was surprised. We have played EDG so many times this year. I didn't think they had a run like this in them. So I'm gonna eat crow. I will say though, there's a lot of rounds. You know, you could go back to 11-11 with the walk down, or with the Guardian. Everyone talks about these rounds, right? The thing that I was most surprised about with KANGKANG, and how I know he's a tournament player, and later on, Mind Freak, I found out, gave him advice, which was interesting, was his energy. So I was at the gym pretty much every day, right? I saw Zelsis there pretty much every time I was there. I even saw Boaster a few times. But you know who else I saw almost every time I was there? KANGKANG. You know why this is important? From the very first round of the game, he had high energy. You could just look at him. He's always like shouting, you know, blah, 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 blah. I remember map 2, they were up like 8-0. And if you go back and look at that round, they're up like 7-0 or 8-0. And he's yelling at the top of his lungs.
Yep.
Now, for me, I've always coached players. And I always tell people, like, yo, conserve your energy, right? Because, like, you're up 8-0. You pretty much should win that game. You're playing in a best of 5. It's going to be 1-1. You have to conserve your energy for the subsequent maps. But he had that energy the entire time. And that's after playing, like, the gauntlet that he went through the whole time. I mean, I know technically he got a day off, like, after he beat Lev. But still, though, I remember, you know, even going back, I'm just going to keep Valorant. I'm not going to keep talking about all the stuff I've done in the past.
Yeah.
But, like, even in Valorant, I remember how tired Hiko and Josh were after first strike. Physically exhausted, right? This goes all the way back there. I could talk to you about Berlin. I talked to you about other stuff. But I remember how tired my own guys were because of the emotion. This dude was straight up every series, every game, high energy, high impact. And then to have the presence of mind on Abyss when shit gets real tight and they're blowing a lead to go, I'm going to put the whole year on me. I'm going to go in with this half-armored Guardian bullshit. I'm just going to walk it down, take a fight. And then I'm going to, you know, the next, or, you know, 12-11, I think, he goes through 2 Astra walls and goes for the op pick, gets the kill, backs off, and it's like, and still, you know, heavy emotion. Like, there's something about tournament players that it's so hard to gauge. This is why assessing rookies is so difficult, right? Because you never know what it's going to be like when the guy gets on stage. You know, this is what made my situation with Primi like such a massive gamble, right? Because in most cases, it doesn't go that way. It goes the other way. For instance, EDG has almost failed for 3 straight years in Valorant.
Yeah.
Every single opportunity they've had, they've choked. And then, skill meets opportunity. And it's almost like, KANGKANG and his team, went through enough hurdles, solved enough problems that now they they found themselves in a situation where, right, the rubber meets the road. And all the conditions were like, yo, the time is now. Because
Perfect.
in my opinion, this has been the most parity I have ever seen in an esport. Because in champs, even us, who you cooked us for fucking 2 hours the other day.
2-0 barbecue.
You basically told us we were 2-0 barbecue all the time. Yeah, 0-2 barbecue, right?
Yeah.
I had delusions of grandeur. I thought we could not only make it out of playoffs, I thought we can actually win this because I thought it was just there.
It was.
Right. So,
yeah,
this has been the most even tournament I can ever remember being a part of. And for them to get past, by the way, they didn't avoid PRX, who was their demon. They went through it.
Yep.
So you can tell
was
how
huge.
Right.
Man.
You can tell all the failures of the
huge.
past helped them here. And for KANGKANG, he's just confident. The boy was just like, nope, I am not losing. Right. He had his LeBron James 2016 against the fucking the Warriors moment, and that's what I thought was really interesting was the high energy. And then when it mattered, he just took the game over. Even on bind, he was like, late in the game, he's like, I'm going to fucking do this myself. He loses the match, but he basically gets a fucking ace the last round. And if it wasn't for time, you know what I'm saying? Like, this guy literally said, I don't give a fuck what you guys do. I'm putting you on my back. I'm doing this shit myself if I have to. And I was very impressed by that. And I was also surprised by Mind Freak being the one that gave him the advice of like, yo, just make sure to like, in order to calm your nerves, just yell it out. But I know that in order for him to be able to have all that energy and that pacing, he had to be physically fit and he had to take care of his body and he had to eat well. Because this is like the thing that no one is going to understand about champs. No one is going to understand about EDG is that KANGKANG was only able to do what he did because of the stuff that nobody saw him do. Because I know what it's like to have that emotion.
Yep.
He had that for so long. It's almost borderline insane how he was able to keep up his energy in that series. Maintaining all the highs and lows while also being first kill. It's kind of easy to do that. Not easy, but it's easier to do that if you're like both a Sentinel or an IGL.
To be the entry and like you get shut down and then you still have to keep it up. Yeah, I know what it's like, dude. It's mental fortitude to the max, bro. Like playing this entry role, especially on like a Neon, specifically with Neon, man. Like, because at least a Jet, you have this smoke, but Neon, bro, sometimes it's just sometimes you just get insta'd, bro. Like you just get insta. You slide into somebody, the shots don't connect.
The game's too fast. You don't like if you're Raze, you satchel, you go clear after your first angle. You have time, right? Yeah, you can. Neon is high octane. You can be in a panic state for like 30 seconds because everything is happening so quick.
And you got to slide. You got to be fast on the reactions.
Yeah,
you got to jump.
You can choose your fights. You can pick your tempo. With Neon, there is no picking tempo. There is just tempo.
You're in.
Yeah. So
no, that's a great shout that you just said. Yeah. Because like, and it's hella underrated. Like even the nutritional aspect of gaming, bro. Like if you eat the right foods, you're gonna be faster, and your brain is gonna work more clearly. Stuff like that. That doesn't mean that you can't just fuck around and eat McDonald's and shit. That's fine.
Right, because if you overload yourself with carbs, you're gonna be lethargic. Yeah. This is the thing that people just don't get, and I'm tired of like having a discussion and argument with players about. But I think that for me, I want to highlight it here. Obviously, because it's our show and it's something we should talk about, but also because I am just so impressed.
He's a young kid too.
By how, like to me, I'm not impressed by the. Everyone talks about the kill record and all this. That actually doesn't impress me. It's when it mattered, he wasn't nervous. I mean, he might have been nervous because of the stage, but when it mattered, he just took over. He just S on his chest and said, "Nah, this is mine." And then he kept energy for his team as the entry, which is very hard to do, specifically because there's so much, there's so many ups and downs, right? You're dying, staying positive is very difficult. If you chain 2 or 3 rounds, you just get shit on, it can spiral out of control. But for him, he was just like, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I was blown away by him. It's not to take away anything from the team or the coaches or anything that happened, but yeah, I didn't see this coming.
Not
I
at
said,
all, bro.
I said one time on 100 Thieves, I did content and no one understood what I meant. Even 100 Thieves was like, bro, what the fuck do you mean by this? And I had to like tell the editors afterwards. I was like, man, Valorant is the most dangerous game I think I've ever been a part of. And no one understands what I mean. But I'm going to explain in more detail what I meant by that now. I, on a personal level, lost so much confidence because of this champs. Both in me, in like my assessment of players, my assessment of teams, my ability to predict, outcomes, my coaching philosophy with my team that I do, right? Because this tournament had so many twists and turns. That by the end of it, I remember before you left, I told you, like, bro, am I R-word? Like, why was I so off on everything I thought happened, right? Or thought would happen. And it just kept happening. Then we get to the finals. The only thing I had going for me was Heretics. Because I thought Heretics was going to be in the grand finals, and I thought they would win the tournament. So I was like, I mean, at least I got this right. And then, no, I got this wrong. I thought they would 3-0 them.
Right?
So,
yeah, right. Yeah. Exactly. I thought the same shit, man.
So it is for me on the KANGKANG stuff, right? You see, like, he had the mental fortitude to just like always have confidence. And even me, I'm not even playing anymore. I'm not even in the tournament anymore. And I'm losing confidence day after day when I'm watching the shit I'm watching, because I just feel like I just don't understand enough Valorant. Because, like, am I losing it? Like, how have I been so off this tournament? And I think it's just a testament to EDG taking the opportunity and just, owning the world, basically.
But that's the beauty in tournaments, man. That's why I've always said it. Like, I always say it, like, with me. I'm a LAN player. I'm that guy that brings that energy, that same type of energy. I feed off the crowd too, bro. If the crowd's going crazy after I make a play or one of my teammates makes a play, dude, it just like fuels me to go even more. And you're 100% right about how it takes a lot of energy out of you, because even when I switched to casting and I'm sitting there and I have to be hyped for like a BO5 or stuff like that, dude, I am dead at the end of it. I'm literally dead because I'm nonstop talking over the stream, right? And like, but like, imagine playing where you actually get that adrenaline rush. Like you're saying, you're playing Neon, you're in there, bro. It's a whole rush. And without him taking care of his body, he would not be able to do that. But that's the beauty in tournaments, man, is that anybody, including your own team, could have won it, bro. Like, all it takes is that one run, maybe that one little inkling. Imagine you beat Leviathan. Maybe that fueled you to have the confidence
is just
right. So that's just how this game works, especially in tournaments. And it's like, yeah, there are favorites for sure, and there always will be favorites. But at the end of the day, when it comes to a grand tournament and everything's on the fucking line, those favorites might be the ones that end up choking. You know what I mean?
Right.
And somebody else is gonna have to step up. It doesn't matter what your record was. It doesn't matter any of this shit, man. All that matters is that tournament at the end of the year, like we've been saying for forever. And now EDG, who have like basically been getting shit on internationally all year, had that crazy moment, had that crazy run,
and they owned it.
And even that G2 loss that they had, they fucking looked good when they lost to G2, bro.
Right.
Like that, I think that in itself, the fact that it was that close against G2, after what G2's been doing to international competition in general, like in terms of like, China and APAC teams.
They own the Asian teams.
Right?
It's free.
So the fact that they made it that close, I think that even gave them confidence going into that next series. And then when they beat PRX, my God, bro, it was time, man. It was time. Like, they could feel it. Like, okay, we just beat our rivals that like we can never beat before, bro.
Yeah.
Like that would just.
And it tells me too, like, it's why I told you I lost confidence, right? Because if you look at the grand finals, I was pretty sure that if it was the case that EDG could win, the only win condition to me was KANGKANG's op. I can already tell you My game plan would have been to shut down his op.
He wasn't even doing it that much.
I would have put crws in such a miserable spot because I would have overvalued. I would have been like, okay, now's the time that he tries to go back and he's going to have to assert his dominance because there's no fucking way in the grand finals you are not going to go back to your bread and butter and try to like at least like take control the way you know how to do the most. I think the first 2 maps he didn't even buy an op. Well, the first map he didn't buy an op. The second one he didn't buy an op till like the late game. I'm talking like 11-11, right? The third map, I'm not sure he bought an op, but the 4th map and the 5th map, again, very late. So it's like, you know, he even did it in the most spectacular way because he did it with the rifle, which was very interesting because that is a thing that he had to level up from since last year. And not only did he level up, it made him a champion. That's how good his offseason was, that he took a weakness that we exploited in other Valorant players and teams and turned it into as close as a strength as possible. Obviously, he went plus 39 in the finals against a team in Heretics who, position by position, have not only people that can frag, but also people that can think. And, you know, overall, they're a pretty good team. They're a very good team. And he did it with his rifle. So it's like, if you can turn a weakness, like imagine any sport. Imagine turning your weakness this season into a strength next season, and imagine doing that over years. Eventually, how are we going to stop him?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the shit that I'm just like.
Especially with more talent developing now. Like, okay, so basically what's going to happen now is that since China won, all these other teams in that region are going to like be just going ham, bro. Now they believe that they can do it. You know what I'm saying? And and a whole future. The floodgates are open now in China for Valorant. All young kids are going to aspire to be KANGKANG or somebody on his team, right? Maybe the IGL, maybe the new player that just came in. You're going to see a bunch of Crossfire players now flood over. I guarantee it, because they're like, yo, big money in here now. Like, we can win championships. Whereas at first they were like, okay, it's a new game. Maybe we don't make the change because we can't hang yet. Maybe we'll wait a little bit, right? So now there's a whole new generation of kids that's going to be inspired by all this. And they're going to really take over the game, bro. Like, you're right. It's not just going to be KANGKANG anymore, bro. It's going to be everybody else that's stepping up to the plate. You're going to see FPX now also probably make deeper runs in tournaments. And they're already good, right? Or even Trace. Look at Trace. They made it out of groups. That's another thing that we got to talk about. Trace making it out of groups also probably fueled confidence to EDG. Because EDG, they lost their first map. They watched Trace qualify. You know what I mean? They're like, yo, Trace made it in, bro. We could definitely make it in. You know what I'm saying? Like, they beat Lev. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
I thought EDG was the 3rd best Chinese team coming into this tournament, as I told you, I believe, on whatever episode
I thought so too.
So, I mean, it just goes to show you that at the end of the day, when you're given an opportunity, you have to maximize it. Because if you do, you can put yourself in a situation where you can do something like this. Because right now, as I said earlier, this is the most parity I've ever seen in an esport. Now,
so let me ask you a question. Why do you think that is, though? Is it just like the way that Valorant is as a game? Like, because I feel like that definitely can play a big part.
I will say that the longer I'm in Valorant, the more I realize yes, because
it's like RNG almost a little bit.
Yeah, small example. It's not that the best teams won't win or that if you have an advantage you can't exploit it. It's that the amount of variables, the amount of permutations you can have in the start of a round, in my opinion, are just too high, right? So a small example, I mean, I did the math a long time ago for Riot, actually, when I wanted more timeouts. So actually, I could say this publicly here. The reason why we have more timeouts in Valorant is because of me. Because me, a lawyer, and 100 Thieves basically wrote to Valorant, or to after First Strike, because I had one timeout all of First Strike, by the way. At that time, you had one timeout for the game, both sides, and reg and OT, and you didn't get it refreshed. You had one timeout for all of this, by the way. And I was basically like, this is cap. I did the math back then. Now, obviously, there are more players or sorry, more characters now. But I think it was like 2,500. It's like 2,540 or something. I have the exact math in an email actually that I sent to Riot. That's how many different permutations, right? 5 characters, 4 abilities. You know, using any one of these abilities first, creates, basically a unique round every time. That's the slight difference between like CS and this game. Is that in CS, there's really just a few ways someone can hit you, unless someone comes with an entirely new concept. But the more matches people play, because they're still playing the same characters and still have the same util, the less likely someone can innovate because the game is sort of figured out, right? Whereas this game, it's different because I could pick Phoenix on Ascent. You could pick Yoru. I could pick Reina. You can pick ISO. And even that one change on any comp creates different set of variables, different set of rules, different set of pre-round checks. And I think ultimately, game planning is arguably more important in this game than it is in any other game. Like base defaults and feeling out your opponent and like doing the stuff that you would do in CS pre MR12. Sometimes you would like not throw, but you would basically run a default or run something that they know just to see what they're running. See if the hits are the same. See if the smokes are the same. The flashes are the same. The first contact is where you expect. And then you run into okay, they're still running oh shit, we prepared this for that. We're going to run into this now, right? So like I'm taking Train, for instance, right? Like on flip side, we would do that every time. First gun round, Blade will always call the same default, did not matter. But if you hit A and it looked the same, we had something for it. Now we'll go, okay, so the next time we go A defense, this is what we're going to do. Like, blah, 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 blah. The slight difference might be Markelov might be going to Ivy or like either flashing and like fighting or just like bait flashing and then holding like from upper train or something. Like, it's like those little nuances change. But for the most part, you would just be in a straight default and just wait to see if they're running new shit. If they're running new shit, okay, you're going to have to probably run something that they haven't seen before. If they're running the same shit, you're going to run your counter that you prepared. You know what I mean? In this game, you don't do that. In this game, you use abilities, you use ultimates, you use other things to do that. And because it's MR12, you have less rounds that you can throw, which means every round becomes more important, which means like, the chess game is very different. So I believe Valorant, even though I've always compared tactical FPS to basketball, I think it's more like the NFL in terms of like the esport, where on any given day, bad game plan, one player doesn't show up,
literally,
you might be cooked,
dude.
So
that's and low key, it does take all 5 players to like really make a run for it like that. Like I felt that too. Like when I was playing on FaZe and we went on that run, yeah, I was like dominating, and I may have been the start to like fuel confidence into the rest of my team to like understand that we could do this run. But like, man, if one of them didn't show up, it didn't matter how good I was playing. I already knew like it was just gonna be very, very tough. If all 5 players on the other team showed up and I had one guy, yeah, it's hard, bro. It's hard, like, because they could just pick like they could just pick one guy on your site. If they identified this guy's struggling, they could just hit that guy's site over and over and over, and it's hard to compensate for that. But I mean, you got to do your best, and sometimes it's just not enough. Like your best is not enough. You need all 5 people to be on point, which is so flipping hard to do. And
sometimes you need to avoid matchups.
Yeah,
you get the wrong
matchups too, right? Yeah, exactly.
You have
like
to show stuff early, or you get into a slugfest.
When
show too much, it's like
so when teams would give us too much respect on the old phase, we would fucking roll them, bro. It wouldn't even be close.
I know.
Now, the moment teams started fighting fire with fire against us and realized, yo, we don't need to just like sit in our spawn and wait for them. We can actually fight them back. All of a sudden, I'm like, oh shit, these guys can aim, bro. You know what I mean? So like, that's part of game planning, right? You know what I mean? Part of game planning, part of a matchup. Certain teams are good at fighting fire with fire. Certain teams we would just roll like Optic, like when we had Jimmy still, we would roll Optic until they got him, and he like was like, "Yo, don't worry, I know how to play against these guys." You know what I mean? So yeah, it's it's interesting how matchups work in this game though, for sure, because like
Yeah.
Secret arguably would could have beat like I don't know, like a Gen G or some of these other teams.
Secret would have beat the brakes off of DRX.
Right.
If we would have got.
But you guys shit all over Secret, so it's like
unlucky.
It's so funny how this game works out, man.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
So.
But that's it. That's champions, bro. That's champions 2024, man. Like it happened quick, bro. I feel like it was just yesterday we started the pod talking about how you were gonna make champs. You actually made it. Crazy. So I don't think that your intuition is off. O2 barbecue is what it is, bro. It is what it is. It just wasn't your time. Maybe next year, bro. Maybe
there's no such thing as more victories, bro. I'm ass. But that's the point, right? Like, so I said that this is why I think games like Valorant are dangerous, because especially the younger you are, that's why a lot of young players go through these crazy peaks with confidence and then these valleys with confidence. One tournament, it's like, yo, what happened to this guy? He was the best in the world. Valorant is unlike any other esport. Bro, I used to think Rocket League was volatile like this. Way less volatile than this.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that was a complaint I had at Valorant, and it didn't matter. Bro, coming off a world championship, I was worried about season 3 of RLCS because of the same thing. Because it's like, dude, this game is just getting so random. Like, the changes are like so minute that like anyone can beat anybody now. It's not even, and I feel like this game is even more crazy than Valorant. I mean,
it is
than Rocket League.
It is, and not only because of the meta changing and everything like that, but if you even think about just before partnerships, bro, like low key, like I thought I was like in, bro. I thought I had the job security. We were owning, bro. You know what I mean? I was on phase. We got third or whatever. Bro, we didn't get selected for the league. That's RNG. I didn't make it into the league.
Yeah.
RNG, I didn't make it into the league. C9 gets in, who was ranked 9 in NA at the time.
Right.
They were ranked 9, bro. They were dog meat, bro. Like, we were running them down in spawn. They blacklisted us. We would run them down in spawns in the couple matches we played in challengers. Bro, they bombed out. They went like 9th place challengers. And they made the fucking league. You know what I mean?
Politics becomes such an important...
I'm second, third all year long. I don't make the league. I don't even get trials because it's, teams are already in. They already have teams. It's nuts. It's nuts, bro. Like it's crazy. I didn't get a single trial that year, but I mean, it is what it is, bro. It is. No, it's unlucky RNG. That the volatility of Valorant, bro. Not even gameplay wise, just getting into the league itself was RNG.
No, I know.
That's crazy.
Yeah, just the internal politics of how things work. It's so crazy. I mean, you know this. I interviewed with like 6 teams this year. Pretty much they all passed on me, basically saying I'm dog shit. One team we'll talk about later.
Bro, let's just talk about it now. We're here right now. Might as well.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to talk about ZETA and Laz retiring, like to me, it's crazy because in 2021, when I was on 100 Thieves in Berlin, we would scrim them, and I remember seeing. Like, some of our guys kind of struggled with the play style. And Laz at the time, to me, was a dude that I hadn't really understood because I didn't really pay attention to the Japanese scene in Valorant. At that time, also, I wasn't even paying attention to the Brazilian scene in Valorant. But he was giving us problems. He was giving us fits. And I don't remember exactly the map or the scenario, but I remember the feeling. I remember he destroyed Ethan back-to-back rounds just in one-on-ones, which at the time, when you got to remember, this is before we played the tournament. When we played the tournament, Nats sat down, Ethan sat down Nats. The game plan on attack on Icebox was, I want that one-on-one matchup. So I had all these TP. You remember how the boxes on B were different? As Omen, you could TP basically off of the barrier 3 different places. The box, high, or basically like fake TP and swing low, right? So you can fake the sound of the TP as if you're high, which will block, so the guy has to like come out to swing you. And you don't actually have to TP. You can just swing out the normal barrier side, right? So there was like 3 ways to beat him. I'm pretty sure Nats killed him 9 times on that attack half, right? That's how we beat them, right? That was a specific game plan I went in, and I called my shot because I basically told Doombros, who was the coach at Navi at the time, exactly what was going to happen, and it happened exactly as I said it would happen. I didn't think that they would anti our defense as well as they did too, right? Like that was Eng putting on a master class. It was basically me and him going back and forth in terms of like strategy. Yeah. But Ethan put down fucking Nats, who at that time, in my opinion, and still is one of the best Sentinels in the world. For Laz to be fucking just destroying Ethan back-to-back rounds, I'm like, I'm not used to seeing this. What is this? And I remember coming out of that, and I'm just like, bro, this team is actually surprisingly good. So I tweeted it. This was like 2021 in Berlin. So like this offseason, I come and I'm like, I'm looking at teams that I can improve and make better coming off of Furia, right? Because remember, Furia, before I got there, they had never won an international game in their history. You can actually look it up. They went 0-2 every single international event before.
They went 0-2 barbecue.
Yeah, literally. That was what they were. I get there as GM, by the way. I get yelled at from ownership because apparently they haven't won a scrim in like 3 weeks, like in January before the season. Like, yo, you need to like fix your shit. I'm like, that's not my job. My job is to like, I'm trying to move us all to LA. I'm like, I'm figuring out the apartments, the land situation, like where are we going to play? I'm trying to organize a facility where us, Loud, and Crew can take EG's old Santa Monica's office. Like, I'm like, in meetings with EG and them, and I'm trying to do this. I'm like, you want me to coach now? Okay, fuck it. So then I go to coach. All of a sudden, that changes. We go into kickoff, almost beat Fnatic, blah, 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 blah. We start 4-2 in the season, So in my head, I'm like, if I could do that with this team, it's easy. Easy work, light work, right? So, yeah, I mean, went to ZETA, hit up ZETA. That was one of the first teams because I remember thinking about Laz.
What did they say to you, bro?
I mean, you've seen the email, so I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to say that it's very clear that people don't do research because what they said to me was very disrespectful, actually, and when you understand the context of what was going on. And it is what it is. I'm just going to eat that shit. Like I'm not going to make this about the GM. It doesn't matter, right? To him, I'm dog shit. That's okay. I respect it. But for me to see Laz retire,
I know it's sad.
It's so bittersweet for me because I wanted to like see what I could do with a guy like that. Right.
Also, by the way, his stats are like, okay, I know stats aren't everything, but like he had to play a bunch of different fucking roles, and like his stats specifically on Sova are still very good, bro.
He's
still very good.
Him as
Sentinel crazy retirement
/ Chamber, bro. Bro, I'm telling you, he's good, bro. And now that I see like what Band does on Sentinel, I'm just like, oh man, like what could have been. So when I heard he was retiring, I felt so bad for him because me and you were having a discussion about how politics kept you out of the league.
Yeah.
What I'm going to say is it's not politics per exact one-to-one, but situations matter, right? Yeah. Your situation with FaZe was unlucky because everyone thought FaZe would make it into franchise. Riot had different ideas, right? Good or bad, right or wrong. I don't even care, right? But that situation kept you out of the league. Mm-hmm. And in my opinion, it's unfortunate that Laz's career since 2021, his situation, he didn't get enough around him to maximize his potential.
Yeah.
Right? And I fear the same thing is even happening to Nats over at Liquid. And it's like when these players, and the thing that I try to tell these players is these situations matter because you don't know when your time is up. Right? Mm-hmm. It was part of my discussion with our Talon players this year after champs.
It happens fast, dude.
I'm not going to name names. Fast. How many more times do I have at this? I'm getting older.
I know, right? Man.
The hours we put in, how many more years am I going to have the energy to do this? You have very few chances, right? EDG kept failing. What if they fail this time again? What does the org do? They probably blow it up. But in some world, our reality, guess what? They can win champs. But if they fuck up and just make one mistake on one bad day, some GM might be like, oh, these guys are dog shit. We got to start over, hit the panic button, like all these other teams are doing this year. So situations are so important. And for me, it's like so sad, not only for Valorant, it's sad for the Japanese scene because that's probably one of the most hyped scenes that we have.
Oh, dead ass. Yeah,
and
it's unbelievable, the event.
Yeah, their number one is basically like, yeah, I'm out, bro. I couldn't do it. Unlucky. And it's like, it's sad how important these situations are and how little accountability I think the people that push the buttons actually take. Because you can ruin someone's career. You can, ruin
your own career.
Yeah, you can ruin your own career.
Yep.
Just by one or two mistakes and not having like the proper guidance and the proper system and in my opinion, the right organization can really derail or make your career. You could look at Icy this year in G2. That guy could not have gone to a better situation for him.
That was perfect, bro.
Right?
That was perfect for him, yeah.
Right. So, yeah, I'd also say, too, Governor has the perfect mix of IGLing from crws and basically big brother ass beatings from ban. Like the good cop, bad cop thing is like perfect for him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, feels so terrible for Laz. But we should all appreciate what he was able to do. He put an entire country on the map. Now it's, up to one of the next young guns to actually bring the title like KANGKANG did to Japan and see if they can sort of like take the torch and elevate them even further than just the top 3.
That'd be crazy. That would be crazy because that would be so hype for the game as well. Like you're right. The crowds in Japan for all the events that we have had have been out of this world, man.
Yeah.
Like it's been just so hype, bro. I hope they host more events there because it would be so sick, and hopefully I get to attend one of them, bro.
Yeah, I think I'm going to an off-season
crowd.
one in Japan too,
bro. I mean, let me know when you go. Maybe I'll have to just come as a little vacation, bro.
Oh, I got you, bro. I got you, family. Don't worry. But yeah, man. So seeing that news, it was like a dagger, bro. I was like, no, because there's a couple players that I think in the right situation could be.
He's good too. He's still good. It's not like he had a bad season and he's like dog shit and that's why he retired. No,
for sure.
Like if you go look at his stats. Like even last 60 days, look good.
Listen,
look good.
It's a shame that that's how he's going out because he deserves much more and he's capable of much more.
Yeah.
But also he probably reached a breaking point or a limit. And I certainly understand because, I've been there too. I mean, I'm getting older. I don't have the same energy on a personal level. I don't have the same energy to keep up.
Yeah, you're like, why am I gonna deal with this shit? At some point.
And Gov. I mean, these guys. Look, our schedule is tough, but like these guys are sickos. Like crws is an actual sicko. You don't understand.
He's a pretty cool guy, man.
He's awesome. But the dude is a fucking sicko. This guy would look. We got practice at 12. We end at 10. This motherfucker's still. Hour and 20 minutes on a treadmill after practice. Or in between practice, by the way. He skips his meal during the break. Motherfucker goes to the gym, runs for 45 minutes on like half cardio, like actually like half speed the whole time. No breaks.
Wow.
Just straight there, showers. All right, I'm playing another 3 maps. Sicko, bro. Governor, much to my dismay, of course. This guy 24 hours straight playing Valorant.
Dude, that's tough, bro.
And I yell at his ass like, bro, don't fucking come to practice without full sleep or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Last the whole day. Most of the time, you don't even notice he's like cooked. Then he sleeps for 15 hours, shows up to practice the next day. Same Governor. It's like, bro, what is this, bro? I can't do that shit. I'm too old, bro. I don't got time for this now. So I'm beginning to even realize my mortality around them. So I can imagine Laz might be feeling what I'm feeling. Not that he's as old as I am, but I can imagine the stress, the strain. Because remember, he's the face of a country.
Yeah.
In Valorant, so he has even more stressors than the rest of us, right? So it's just it's tough, man. But excellent career. I hope he stays involved. I hope he gets into coaching. I don't.
Maybe
know
he'll be a coach or something. You know,
Yeah.
maybe he'll take over. Hopefully, bro. Because like
Maybe
I don't know,
one day.
or maybe he just needs a little bit of a break. Maybe he needs to pull a Marv. Maybe he's like does a fake retirement, comes back in the middle of the season next year. Who knows, bro? Maybe that'll happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely think he's good enough to keep playing for sure. So,
Yeah, I wonder where that puts them this year because DFM technically was the better Japanese team, and maybe you know, and Depth are like competing, and I don't know. We'll see, man. But terrible news for the world, bro. For the Valorant world, excuse me.
So some more interesting news is Derke. He's a restricted free agent. I don't know. I don't know. Like he had a really good year actually, bro. Like he learned Yoru. At first he looked pretty like wishy-washy on it. But ended up looking great at the end, right? And he played great at champs. He's still really good, bro. I don't know if he'll actually be gone from Fnatic. I think this might just be like him trying to like shop around, see if he can get like a crazy offer, maybe. You know, maybe from NA or something of the sorts. Like just get a bag thrown at him.
A lot of people want this. Even in APAC, all players talk about is going to NA because they think it's better.
I
don't realize. Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if this is a good thing for Fnatic if he does get a bag somewhere else or who they'd even pick up. Maybe Alphier would go full-time duelist, but I don't know about that. Like if he can even play a jet. I know you can play Raze at a very, very high level. I used to think that Alpha was regarded as one of the best Razes in the world when he was playing it on like the Turkish teams he was on. And he looked great on Raze as well on like Split when they would run the double duelist comp, and he looked great on ISO. I mean that motherfucker crazy.
Yeah, I don't think it's a skill thing with Derke. It's probably, you know, how many more years are you guys going to fail together before? And I say that relatively speaking. I personally don't think what's happening to them has been failure.
Yeah.
But I understand sort of what I understand what the thing, because to me, I look at my year with Talon this year was a failure to me.
But it wasn't.
Right. To everyone else, they have a different opinion on this, but I think it's a failure. So if he's anything like me, he's probably another fucking psychopath that is just unhappy that they didn't win a title. And I get it. You need to be. But I don't know anything about this in particular. I was as surprised as everybody else. What I'll say is
this was so out of nowhere.
This could be just it's time, and he's just like the first one that's like, yep, I'd rather go. It could be that they have a decision to make if Leo's returning, and maybe Hero impressed them enough, and they're just like, listen, maybe we need to move Alpha back to Duelist, and we can move Hero or Leo to Sentinel, and it just is a better fit for us this way because Derke is, in my opinion, a less aggressive duelist. I'm not going to get into the commentary on who do I think is better. I know who I think is better. That's irrelevant in this discussion. So I can imagine where they're going with this. I will say this on a personal level, though. I'm hearing this too much with APAC players and some European players talking about they want to go to NA, and I think they need to understand something. I'm going to explain some game to them. So it's better for North American players to go to Korea because there's a tax treaty between both of our countries where the first $100,000 you make in Korea as an American is untaxed.
Are you serious, bro?
Yes. So it is actually better finance. That's actually one of the biggest reasons I'm in APAC, actually.
Bring me over there, bro. Right. What the?
But I know from CSGO, I'm explaining how Eastern European, Ukrainian, and Russians struggled with being double taxed. That doesn't happen in reverse. For instance, I got into many arguments with Blade and Markelov in the past about money. But it became because our CPA was like, yo, you made money at E-League in Atlanta. You made money in Cali at iBuyPower. You made this and that. Well, you got to pay the taxes for the prizes in that state. and then they get taxed when they get home. So there's a fallacy here. Like these people, I know players don't have lawyers because most of the players, like on 100 Thieves, they were all using my lawyer because they never had one. So like agents now are agents. Most of these agents have never went to fucking school. And I'm not going to name any of them. I'm not going to do anything. They didn't have degrees. They didn't go to sports management in college. They didn't graduate. A lot of these guys are kids that just want to be agents. Or they're working for these agencies that, don't even get me started on this topic. But I'm just saying, like, right? What they're not being told are these things, right? Most players don't even have, most American players don't have an LLC. That is how they get paid, which is the most beneficial thing they can do for their careers. And I've had to, like, educate so many players on open your own LLC, you know.
I wish I would have had that advice like a couple years ago. Like
because it's going to save the money, and they can like do a whole.
Like you save like at least like you could save up to like 10 grand on taxes.
A lot
with the LLC, bro.
Because like for an example, if you're in California, right? I believe single taxpayer is like 40%, right?
Dude, it's crazy,
I'm in Florida, so my LLC,
crazy, bro.
Right. So I'm in Florida where there's no state income tax, right? So you just pay federal. But the corporate tax rate in Florida is 21%. That's a massive gap. Now, my LLC is the one that pays myself, right? So I give myself my own salary. Most of the, if you own a home or you have an office or you blah, 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 if you're a streamer, you can have that be your home office. It's a tax deductible, basically, right? There's all these things that you can do if you know what you're doing. But I know what it's like for some Europeans that try to make money in America. And they think, oh, yo, I'm going to get a bag in NA. Nah, bro, you're just going to pay more taxes. like I'm hearing the same shit in APAC from some players like, oh, I got to go there. Then I find out some of the tax law in their country, and I'm like, you're going to get bodied. You know that, right? And it's like, they don't even think about this because they don't have anybody telling them any different. They hear some players came over and got a bag, but they hear the sticker price. They don't know what the back end of that is because you have to pay taxes in 2 different countries, right? So, like, you can make a nice 40K, but before you know it, that's closer to 2025, right? And if you're in some situations, like the one I mentioned, if you're an American working in Korea, you might be able to just make it out like a bandit because you might have a like what happened with me and you. There was an offer on the table for more money than what I'm getting paid at Talon, but when you do the math, what I would pay in taxes is kind of close to what I'm getting anyway, but I'm in the league. Right? Like,
yeah, it makes more sense.
So there's an entire economics conversation that these people have to have about this free agency stuff. Now, there's in no way am I trying to give Derke advice that he should stay at Fnatic just for the money or because of any of this stuff, because he might be able to get way more and be able to demand X amount, and the tax benefit would work out, because even if he pays more taxes, he's making way more anyway. So I'm just saying that I keep hearing that the grass is greener, and the grass isn't always greener. For Derke, different situation, because he's been with this team for a very long time, and they haven't been able to win champs like I think he believes they should. This could be an element of it. There could be problems in the team. This also happens, especially when you're with people for a long time and things aren't working out. Winning always solves everything. So I'm not exactly sure, but there are larger conversations around free agency that I think a lot of people don't have the expertise on. So they make these decisions, but it doesn't ultimately always work out in their favor because they don't have all the information presented beforehand. Derke could be completely different.
Yeah.
So I don't want to make this about Derke.
Well, hopefully it works out for them, whatever path they go, and hopefully Derke doesn't end up getting fucked over because of Fnatic wanting to make a change. Maybe if that's the case, we don't know yet. Because also in that post it says Fnatic is also like looking to see what's on the field for them, but I just don't know. Like, I know that there's a lot of good talent in Europe. I just don't know who they would get as a duelist, really, though, like to replace Derke, unless they just brought up Alpha here.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
I'm not like I could see like safe maybe. Safe is cold. Safe is cold.
I mean,
Or like
sure.
Woot. If they could get Woot, bro.
Yeah,
Fnatic
I
could
mean,
get Woot. I mean, now you got Woot and Alpha.
Right. There are many different options.
Yeah.
If I'm Woot, I would obviously consider not even trolling and just staying,
I know, right? I know that, dude. That Heretics team is so sick.
Right,
bro.
right.
Like,
but the point I'm making
we're
is
we're so bullish on Heretics, bro. It's insane.
Yeah, but the point the point you're trying to make, the point I'm trying to make is there's so many things that Fnatic can do from here on out.
Yeah.
Speculation might be fun, but it's also irrelevant because there's so much context we're missing.
You don't even know.
I have no idea what's going on internally. I could give you my opinion on whether or not I think that team should break up. I don't. I actually don't. But I'm not the decider there, and I'm not in there every day, so my opinion literally means nothing. So.
Yeah. It's kind of like a curse being so consistent because, like, even though like you can say like they have failed in like winning a champs, right? They still so damn consistent. Like they make every fucking event, well, for the most part,
right?
And it's like I think it's just a curse of being consistent in this game. Like you can't ever win. Right. You can't win because you're just consistent.
EDG just did it.
That's it.
EDG just did it. They qualify for everything and make nothing. Or sorry, they qualify for everything but win nothing.
Yeah, but EDG don't consistently get top 4 like Fnatic.
No. Fair. I'm just saying, like, Fnatic, if I'm one of them, because look, the argument I had this offseason, or this starting of the offseason, full disclaimer, Talon isn't making changes. I could have replaced Governor, dabble with the idea of replacing crws, talk to them both. Ultimately, we're not. Because, sure, are there free agents I can bring over? In some ways, I can bring you over, right?
Yeah, bro. If Governor would just get his fucking Korean citizenship, Governor, come on, bro.
Right? But, like, the thing is, ultimately, you have to make a decision, and is it ultimately going to be worth it? Like, do you think you're going to get marginally
gamble,
better,
bro. It's
much better? It's always a gamble. Or is the chemistry good enough that you could just run it back?
Yeah.
For us, it became a thing. That doesn't mean that we're not going to improve the roster. If there is an opportunity, small example, our team talks about this stuff openly. Mm-hmm. If there's an opportunity to get like a world-class player, every player on the team knows they're pretty much up on everyone knows.
Yeah.
But if it isn't going to make us, like, if something's going to make us marginally better, we're not going to do that because we would rather build on what we have.
Yeah.
And see for real what it's like.
Because you really haven't had that much time with
Primi, Ospas, maybe Governor is fucked, right? But like Gov knows this, right? So it's like, but like, that's the and
you wish, buddy. You wish.
Ospas is a bad example, but yeah. Because obviously that'll never happen. I'm just saying, like, you obviously have to take that seriously. Caliber. Right.
Yeah.
And just for the record, Derke, in my opinion, though awesome, does not qualify for me. So I don't want people to just be like, oh, he said it.
Look, he wouldn't fit in your system. He has to fit in your system as well.
First off, he wouldn't want to come here anyway.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Exactly, they don't even respect us like that. And that's
exactly.
So it is what it is. But yeah, I just wanted to make that known.
Something else that I just wanted to touch on, just with my experience being in Korea, is like the level of mechanics, bro. Even in like Ascendant lobbies, it's so high.
Yeah, it's
outrageous. I actually urge, like, I don't know how many teams will actually teams like from NA that watch this or other regions in general, but I like really think that you guys should take your team for a little bit this offseason to Korea, do a little boot camp there for a month or two. I promise you, your players will come out of that maybe a little bit more brain dead, but with the mechanics on fucking point, bro. And just so I can like just give some context here. Man, dude, the Ascendant players can even fry you in Korea, in APAC. Like, they were frying me up, bro. And I was like, yo, what rank am I in? Ascendant? I'm like, okay, I can't even imagine what Radiant is like. I'm playing against Rossi because I had to fill in some scrims for TSM because they have traveling stuff. They're going to a boot camp. Some players get sick. So I had to sub in for some scrims that he was in. And he's frying, bro. He's dropping like 25s casually, and you can't even tell. It just happens. Like, out of nowhere, you press tab, you're like, go, wait, the fuck, Rossi's at like 30, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Team went like 3-7 this year.
Yeah, right? Yeah. So, and I message him, and I'm talking to him. I'm like, bro, like, I'm not gonna lie, like Ascendant was fucking crazy out in there because I didn't play enough games to get it to Radiant in the first place. I think I only played like 7 Valorant games there, but I played a fuck ton of Deadlock. But that's for another day. Everybody knows I've been streaming that game like nonstop. But yeah, even he was like, dude, like you didn't even hit Radiant. If you hit Radiant, the players in there are even more crazy. So like his mechanical skill has gone up so high. So like I think it'd be smart for every single team in VCT to go take a month there if you have the funds. Boot camp there for a month. Your player's aim is going to be absolutely on point. Bring them back to NA where you can hone in on like the actual macro and everything. And now you have the best of both worlds. I think this should definitely be done. And then maybe vice versa. Maybe other teams should travel to NA or EU. Probably EU because I feel like that's really, really more focused on macro in my opinion. And practice there and just get the macro down, learn the fundamentals the proper way, you know, against teams that actually will let you practice the fundamentals against you. I think it's hella underrated to do that. Or maybe even go to China too, but I think most of the Chinese teams practice on APAC, if I'm right.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. We are going to be spending some time, like our off season is very short. By October 1st, we're back in.
Yeah, we got to talk about that. Yeah,
because we're sickos too.
Let's talk about the 2025 season that Valorant put. So kickoff January. The whole format's different. Can you explain it? Because I think you're a little bit more in depth with it than I am right now.
Okay, so the biggest change is they're gonna seed. Okay, so the first part is they're gonna seed 12 teams in a double elim tournament. Seedings for some reason are gonna be the same seedings as this last year. Okay. So yeah, it's a double elim bracket. They're gonna forego the group stage and a play-in. The top 2 teams basically go to Bangkok Masters. Regular season, it's gonna be like, the only thing that changes in my mind is points won't. So you know, like stage 1 and stage 2 are added together, and that's what you are for championship points.
Yeah,
it's not gonna be like that this time, and the playoffs are gonna be expanded to 8 teams since there's 12 teams in the league. And the top 3 teams from each region will qualify for Masters, like Toronto, and then championship points. We haven't gotten a full breakdown, I don't think yet. But all we know is stage 1 and stage 2 are independent. They're no longer like going to be additive. So that's what we have right now. I don't know how I feel. Look, a double elim tournament is much better than with the bullshit they were giving us last time.
Way better.
So
way better.
That's
double
fine.
Elim is nice.
The seeding, I think, is interesting. That means, by the way, I think we play Team Secret again because we're 4, they're 5. I think. No. They're 3. We're
God
4.
Damn it, bro.
We play. Who's 5? RQ. So it's probably going to be that. Basically, but
God damn it, bro.
Yeah, it's just funny how it works.
It's just crazy how you only play the same flipping team every
Unlucky,
single time.
Bro.
But
yeah, so and it starts in January. So we don't really get a long off season this time like we did last year. For instance, I spent Christmas and Thanksgiving in my house with my family before I left to Korea. I'm leaving before Thanksgiving. As a matter of fact, in October, we go back to practice. Then we go to Japan for a tournament. Then I come back and either go to Singapore for a tournament in November or China. And then go to Korea. Then have to reapply for visas. Then season starts in January. So no off season.
Wow.
Unlucky, brother.
That's well, make sure you just don't. I don't know. You have experience with this, so like I'm not worried about you. But obviously now you're gonna have to be worried about your players burning out, etc. A good example of that was a lot of the players from Sentinels because they pretty much did what you're talking about right now. They just went like they didn't have an off season. Maybe they took like a week or 2 off, but they were. I mean, they had to find the new teammates. They got Zelsis. Then they had to like restart from the bottom up. You, in a way, are kind of in that same position because now that you have the time and Primi is full time now, you kind of, in your own way, have to like start from the bottom up again. and like get him into a whole system. I know like I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about, what role he's going to be playing or what roles he is thinking about playing, but that's also a factor, right? So you got your work cut out for you this year.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yep. So, but yeah, I mean, it's part of the job, and it is what it is.
Yeah, you got.
Would I like more time? Sure, I need it, but at the end of the day, sometimes it's just not in the cards, and it is what it is. So I could bitch about it or do something about it. So
yeah. Well, I'm glad that you guys are going to be doing shit in the off season. I can't wait to see how you develop Primi as well, whatever role he gets onto. I obviously hoping that he is open to it.
Yeah, him. I will have. No
I think
problem.
that's going to be the main part of the battle. But from the conversation we had with crws, I think it's going to be fine. I think you guys are going to be chilling
for sure. He's one of the most important pieces in my mind for this offseason
and for the org in general. Like that's the future of Thai gaming right there. No cap.
So
no cap
for sure. He could be everything that lasts to his country in Thailand for sure.
Something else that's new is GE getting rid of their entire roster. The entire roster. You said that there was like some promising points to them in scrims, but obviously the results didn't show, and they're rebuilding
the same as
again.
us though. But see, this is the I'm not criticizing GE. Like I'm not. But you know better than anyone. You were there. You saw us. You were around us. You even saw some of these scrims. The caliber of teams that we played in scrims were it was proliferated throughout all of the upper quarterfinals and upper semifinals, right? Would you agree?
Yeah.
We were fucking dumpstering them. Absolutely taking them out back, putting them out of their fucking misery, bro. But the moment we played on stage, we're just throwing rounds, right? You think of Lev Bind, you think of Lotus Vitality. You're talking massive leads in that game, not just in score. I'm talking about like round starts, 5v4, 4v2s, and you're just throwing, right?
Yeah.
Now, part of that is undisciplined, 3 rookies, a whole bunch of other excuses we can make. But the point I'm making is we were fucking obliterating everybody. So our confidence was really high. And I can tell you that GE did the same shit to everyone this year. The slight difference is they had a lot of close series losses. If they win half of them, they're already at 5-6 wins. So does it need to be blown up? I don't know. But
at least keep
do I need to blow up Talon because we fucking O2 barbecued? I have no idea. My instinct says no. Like, just shut the fuck up, take your lumps, get better. Okay. If they don't feel that that's what they need to do, if they need to feel that they need to, improve the roster from top to bottom, okay. But I'm pretty sure, if memory serves, maybe I'm trolling, but I'm pretty certain they had very, very close series. They had a bunch of close series. They didn't get like destroyed by everybody. They probably got destroyed by like the teams you expected.
Yeah, like a PRX, DRX.
But in fairness, so did I got 13-0'd on one map by PRX. So, I don't think GE got 13-0'd at all this year. So, yeah, I don't know. Do I think those players are solid? Sure. Do I think they can make upgrades? Sure. I can think of one position immediately I would upgrade. Right? The whole roster, though?
I know. It's like
kind of cat.
They already did that. You know what I mean? Like, they literally already did that. Getting rid of, like, Aaron and all those guys. By the way, they fumbled so hard when they had Texture and they had Meteor, too, right? Am I bugging about that?
Yep.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Well, so to do this again, it's like, so what are they doing? And then they post like this thing where it's like anybody can join. Like, do you want to join with me, bro?
The thing I think is interesting is, if I remember correctly, now I don't know this. I'm pretty sure though. GE traded Meunier for Benkai. So like
they had Meunier as well. That's
what I'm saying. Like, bro, they had Texture. Again, this isn't a hate train on GE. I'm not criticizing.
It's not.
I'm just saying, are we going to blame the players? Because as far as I'm concerned, GE has had as much talent. If I will say this as honestly as I can, and I don't give a fuck if people get butthurt about this from Thailand. The players that came out of GE are better than the players that literally Talon had to replace.
Shit.
GE has had the players. Maybe you have the current players that can pull a Talon-esque run. But you don't know if year after year, you're just constantly flipping your roster. You're literally playing strat roulette and just hoping that you hit lightning in a bottle and it works. But if you think about the players that have come out of look, I could be wrong about Meunier. Maybe I am smoking something crazy. I'm pretty sure, though, they traded Meunier for Benkai. And then Texture came out of that program, too. And they had Ronsky. Now, it might not have worked out the way that they had intended, and so many things could have been changed and different, and sure. But the organization knows how to pick good players. The organization, in my opinion, has a solid roster. They may not think so. And they may have to make moves and do things that they feel are best for their company. And I am not questioning them, and I am not trying to even insinuate that I know better than them. That's not even where I'm going. The reason I'm so inflammatory is simply because of the same thing that we keep talking about in this podcast. It's just, I feel like so many people hit the goddamn panic button. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Talon goes 0 for 12? 0 for 12 next year. Or 0 for 11, actually, because we're the 12th team. Maybe I'm just lost. But I have the choice too. And I feel like in the same thing that they experienced, I'm dominating everyone in scrims, and then I go 0-2 fucking barbecue at champs. Or we're literally owning and dismantling DRX, and my players are literally just, among us. And just basically like, here, take our money. Here you go. So I could easily just be as, destructive.
Yeah.
Just completely change the roster and go with something completely new. But yeah, without knowing what's going on the inside, I can't defend it because I just don't know. And I am sure they know better than me why they're doing what they're doing. But I will say, to the point you started with, I think that roster was solid. They just probably needed more time than they had, because I felt we did too.
You finally got the time. Like, thank God you got the time. But like, this is what we're talking about. This all ties back into take advantage of the moment that you have, because it could all go away, right? Because it's like, who knows? Maybe next year, if those guys could have stayed together and they didn't get dropped by the org, maybe they could have done it. Maybe they could have gotten some wins and maybe even made a run to champs like you guys did. But they don't get that opportunity.
Maybe they take our spot. So I have no idea,
right?
bro.
It's just so, like, everybody in the league needs to understand, like, dude, it's so volatile, man. Like, take advantage of the moment that you have in the league, whether you're a coach, analyst, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like, even for the teams that win their way in, bro, like, it's not even permanent, bro. They win, they qualify through Ascension. They're only there for 2 years, bro. You gotta hope that somebody drops out. Maybe you can talk now about getting the spot permanently, but it's like, it's so temporary, so volatile. It's tough,
and look, and I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, even us at Talon, we haven't forgotten that some of our wins were close, right?
Yeah.
So GE was one of them. Bleed was another one that was close, right? It was early in the season for us, so we needed to get momentum. We lost kind of close, but we deserved to lose versus Gen G, right? Like, Secret, one of our wins was razor thin. It was the one where Ban had an ace. I believe that was the regular season when Secret was close. Bro, we lose those. Those are 3 games. We're in the same position as GE. I don't know. I do not know. But there's a chance Talon does the same thing and say, we need to get rid of everybody. There's a chance where they go, we saw the potential. We're going to let you live. We don't live in that world because we don't know, right? We did the things that we needed to do and we qualified and now we get to choose, right?
Yeah.
But it could have happened to us. This is why I'm saying, like, the margin between GE and us is not so insurmountable that I think you need to blow it up, right? That's my point.
Yeah.
Maybe you do, though, because I'm not on the inside. But from what I could see from the outside, a lot of their losses were close.
Mhm.
So I think that's like, you know, like I know for sure us and T1 for them was really close. I think ZETA was close. I don't know, man. I'm old.
They won some games too, right? It's not like they just like bombed the fuck out. Like,
Yeah. Like,
I don't know. It's just so tough, man. This game.
bro, they
this game is just
2-0'd
so
RQ.
tough.
Now, in fairness, RQ had a sub, but the sub is no pushover anyway. But, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Good luck to them. I obviously wish them the best. I don't want them to like, oh, bro, their sub was 2GE. I remember now. Their sub was a guy that Secret signed. When they beat Gen G, he was on that team, 2GE.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, they pick good talent, bro.
And they 2-0'd him. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. They're not bums, bro. They know what they're doing, bro. It's just, do they hit the panic button too fast? I don't know.
I wonder if what it is they're actually just like making money with like these transactions, because that could be a reality of the situation. Is they could
That was us
just
the
be
flip side,
fostering-
right? We sold electronic for $250 in
Yeah,
cash.
exactly. Like it could be like a
Bondic,
place to
all that
foster
shit,
talent
yeah.
and then
Mhm.
just like kind of just like make a profit, because it's tough right now to make a profit in esports. Let's just be real. You know,
Yeah.
it's not easy.
Yeah, it's a passion project for most orgs for sure.
Right? Like I like even like some of my buddies, you know, like that are in the tier 2 scene, like for example YFP, that's all out of their pocket, bro. Like they're paying out of pocket to support a tier 2 team, which they don't even have to pay them. But they
Right.
decided, you know what, like we want to incentivize our players, make them feel better about, you know, everything going on. So we're gonna do this, and they did. You know, but
No,
that's tough, man.
It
Like
is
that's
tough. The whole thing.
that's money out of your own pocket, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah, and I am sure they have thought about this immensely, right? So my criticism is not of what they're doing. It's why this happens anyway, because I feel like we are an example of a team that could have easily blown it up to improve and just decided not to. But in reality, though, I don't see us. I don't think we're so far away from GE that I get to, nose to the sky. In the same way, I didn't think EDG was that far from us. So it's like, maybe I'm just lost, bro. I have no idea. That's certainly how I felt after fucking champs. I can tell you this. I've been telling you privately, like, I think I lost it, bro. I used to be able to predict these things. I used to be able to see these things. Now I just feel like barbecue chicken, bro.
O2 barbecue. I think I said it. Like, remember I told you I said I was gonna say it on cast. I think I said it at champs, bro.
Yeah, you did.
I definitely said it at champs. Shoot. All right. Well, that's enough talk about GE. 100 Thieves opened up a spot for their assistant coach. Who was it that is Mike's, right? Mike's is gone
Mike's
now.
HD. Yeah.
Yeah, so Zix is still there. There's like a little trial process. I kind of like it, like get your opinion on 100 Thieves Icebox, prepare a scouting report on Fnatic's Haven. I don't really know too much about like what teams are looking for in terms of an assistant coach. I think it depends on the head coach of what they think their need is. So I guess this is again just getting your opinion on this trial process. Do you think it's smart? Like, what would you do? Like, what do you look for in an assistant coach? / do you even have an assistant coach?
No.
No.
Aaron, boy.
He helped out though. Yeah, he helped out.
Yeah, for sure. He runs our scout team. So his help is even sometimes I'd argue more beneficial than an assistant coach because he's actually in server. He feels them. You know what I mean? Because you were in there, you saw. Okay, like the things I would look for. So I am analytics centric. So for me, actually, funny story. We played Vitality. The two. Maybe I should let them. Maybe I should bring them on and we should talk about this. But anyways, they watched my UCLA presentation basically, and like, because I don't have permission to say, I'm not going to share. I'll share with you offline. I don't want to share. Like, I don't want to air this out without having asked them, and I did not ask them.
Okay.
But I'll just say they brought that up to me, and I kind of laughed it off, like, oh shit, damn, they actually scouted the coach, so they know, more or less what I'm thinking. So, I have never obviously played Valorant at a high level, nor did I CS, right? My game was completely different. Dota is an entirely different beast in these games.
Yeah.
So for me, a better help would be someone like, I've used Precision in the past, Aaron, obviously. I talk to you all the time about like what to do with, for me, that helps me more because I get into the mind of a player. X's and O's, I've always been pretty good. I mean, we were using Sky for years when nobody was running them. I was the first one to implement KO, Harbor Viper. Back when the old PUBG roster, we were running Viper on maps like Haven, using them on Ascent. Now you see that shit as the flavor 4 years later. It always comes down to the coach. I would much rather someone compliment my weaknesses than what most coaches do, assign somebody that thinks like you to do your job for you. Because I can't be bothered to watch demos, but I know I can trust him because we kind of think the same. So he'll watch them, he'll tell me, and then I'll just regurgitate.
Yeah, it's like you're cheating. You're like basically
that's
cheating.
not what I do. And I'm certainly not a friend to my players, which has obviously always worked against me because organizations always choose to give players more power. I put winning first over everything. As for if what they're doing is a good idea or not, only they would know. I will just remind everybody that they had Jovi, who I think is not only one of the best coaches not in franchising, but I also think for me was an excellent assistant coach. And they literally gave they basically gave him away for tissue paper. And they've been having a coaching carousel ever since. So I mean, I don't even know if they find the right guy, if they'll keep him, because they might not like him, because he might be different. I have no idea. I'll just say that there is a very, very serious lack of year-over-year consistency. I mean, look at Fnatic. They've had many since the start. You brought up the fact that this team always makes top fours. I think people don't care about consistency. They care about flashy. So I hope that whoever they decide to get, it works out for them and they do whatever they need to do. And he, serves his purpose and is respected and treated well. If not, it's just going to be another name to the board that, so.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I mean, I hope they find somebody. I think it was really unfortunate the way that they left the season. It's very rough. I wonder if anything else will change.
They should have made champs, and I was rooting for them to make champs.
Right,
so bad,
me too,
bro.
Dude, me too. I know,
bro. I wanted that so bad. So selfishly, I wanted it because of Marty. People don't realize one of my best friends in esports is my old manager from 100 Thieves. Like everyone always thinks, and I talked to you about this. They always think like I hate 100 Thieves and I want them to fail. The truth is the truth. If you don't like the truth or what I'm saying, then unlucky. But in reality, I don't want the company to fail. I don't want the people to fail. As a matter of fact, one of my closest friends in esports, and also technically in life, is the manager for 100 Thieves. Mm-hmm. And I wanted him to make Shanghai so I could see him. So it hurt me so bad that he didn't make it, bro. So I want them to get the shit right. I want them to make majors. I hope they come to Thailand. I hope I get to, see Marty, work out with them, chill with them, all that shit. So I like you. I hope it turns around. I hope they are able to do what they need to do because, man, I could not. I'm still in disbelief. Crew came back on Ascent, bro. I mean, what the fuck was that game, bro?
It was
but I can't talk
crazy,
shit,
bro.
because I probably have thrown more. Bro, my team threw more rounds at champs than I think. Anyways, don't even get me started on this, bro.
It happens.
Don't
It
even get me
happens.
started, bro.
It definitely happens. Rough, bro. Rough.
Very rough, bro. So I hope they figure it out. Good luck to them.
All right. I mean, that's pretty much it for everything that's happening in the scene. I mean, literally. I mean, we had some other things happen, like Plix leaving Wolves, whatever, you know, secret parting ways with NDG. But other than that, not really much has been going on. So I guess we'll take this time to finally talk. Oh, go ahead.
Little Birdie, have you heard about the franchising rumor in NA?
Oh, what happened?
Little Birdie.
Got something?
There's two things that I'm hearing.
Let me know.
One of the Brazilian teams is going to go NA.
Oh.
Like they're going to try to find and sign North American players.
Loud?
I can't say because I sources have not confirmed, but sources that I trust gave me info. That does not, but I can't put my name on this like I do a lot of shit because it's not solid. This is just, I'm asking you if you've heard what I've heard.
Rumors. I've heard some rumors about something about like Sadhak not being on Loud anymore and like potential something going on there.
But the fucking Sassy and Aspas thing is real for sure. That I can tell you. Sassy is packing his bags, right? That I know. Where he's going, I have no idea. If he's staying, he could potentially stay, but at least I know it's a consideration.
They're thinking about it. Like him and Aspas reuniting, is that what you're saying?
Well, that is what people are saying that I think is also a very real possibility, but I know for a fact that Sassy is saucy, so he could be global. We don't know.
Yeah, he could. You're right.
He could be global. We don't know. But no, the other rumor was there's a potential franchise team that is potentially going to be subbed out for someone else.
Ooh,
yes, sir.
Well, okay. So just
in terms of everyone's going to say it's EG. It is not EG. It's not
EG.
Everyone is going to say it's not EG.
That's what I would think.
No. Well, that's what I think
because I thought they wanted to get rid of their spot. Remember?
Well, yeah, because they were trying to sell it, and then Riot said no, fuck off, and now they've had to raise money and do all this shit. But
dude, that's nutty.
They are not who I'm hearing. Wow, so I think that is very interesting.
That's crazy.
Yes, sir.
You gotta let me know off.
Yeah, for sure. Now, again, I'm gonna be very transparent. Normally, when I say names and shit, I'm not afraid because I know. I don't actually know, but I'm in enough circles and high places that I've caught, this on my,
it's on your radar.
From my little birdies. My little birdies have told me, yo, because I may or not have been asked, when my contract is up. So,
okay.
You know what I'm saying? So,
all right.
So,
so you're gonna get me on, right? No, I'm playing.
I mean, I would love to, but I'm fucked, bro. I have to finish this job first. Job's not finished.
Job's not done.
If we would have won champs, maybe it's a different discussion, but can't go back home yet.
Word. Interesting.
Too much unfinished business. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't know where this leads. I'll say this. Most teams, if you made the partnership program, I think they thought they were untouchable. The problem is you're not actually untouchable. So
that's so weird, man.
Right.
That's so weird, and it kind of just
wanted the pop because they realized
just annoys me a little bit, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Fair. Well, I mean, it's also what they do to potential talent. Anyways. But I'll just say that Riot wants the power and control in their hands because the situations that they've dealt with in League, because of franchising, because people paid money, and because contractually you can't kick teams out, it became a real thing. And people don't realize that the reason why Guard is no longer in esports or Valorant is because of situations like that, because they went to make a bid for the League spot, the Optic spot, and then all these problems. Then they come into franchising with Riot for Valorant, and then they get shit on like you guys at FaZe. You know, and then the
Yeah,
Conkeys who have more money than God in America for sports teams, right? They have like the Rockies and the Rams and, you know, all sorts of other shit. Yeah, they basically were like, man, fuck this, we're out of here. So because of the limitations, and now Riot is just like, yeah, look, this franchising thing, you're on a 5-year track. You know, if we don't like you or you do something that hurts the brand, we can kick you the fuck out. If we do like you, in 5 years, we'll reassess where we're at. One thing I don't like about what's happening is I think what they've done for the sustainability of franchising is very weird. For instance, you know, everybody heard. So Riot loves the press op and they love the fucking the headlines. So everyone is like, all these teams are making $1 million from Riot. What they don't realize is, because remember, I was GM of a team and I'm in all these meetings and I'm having Riot meetings about skins and money, you know, all this stuff. Because for your skin to be in game, you basically had to eat a third of the cost. Or sorry, a third of your total bounty. Let's say $1 million. A third of it is gone. Just so they can make it and put it in game. So that means if you went from year one, let's say $1 million, you're now at basically $666,066 now.
Interesting.
And now they're cutting the marketing budget by, I believe it's half. I could be wrong. Yeah. So now that budget is even less. So now this goes back to the players that are like, yo, I want to go to NA to get the bag. What bag? The days of the past are gone now.
EDG just won. The bag is going to be in China, bro. I'm going to keep it a buck.
Well, that's what I was told this year. That, yo, Hector, if you want, you go to coach at China to get the bag. Didn't happen for me. They didn't like me. So unlucky. Yeah. But that's what I did here too. But yeah, but the bag is not in NA for some of the reasons that I'm mentioning. There are some teams that might be crazy. I can think of a few that are just still insane. But for the most part, you know, these are like behind the scenes things that people don't even realize. Like, it's actually kind of crazy. Now, what does this mean for the teams, the health of the sport, the game? I'm not actually sure, because I believe Riot is investing a lot of money that they don't see in return in Valorant. Right? Everyone wants to complain.
It's like esports in general right now. It's like everything's kind of
right.
It's in an interesting spot. It's kind of like that out of pocket thing that we were talking about. Like people are doing things just out of their pocket with their returns not really being there. I don't think many orgs are profitable at all. I think Sentinels might be one of the only ones that are profitable, or maybe just break even. I don't know, but like it's very rare that an esports organization can actually make the amount of money that's justified to pay some of these fucking salaries, because some of these salaries are crazy. Me myself included, having one of those salaries at one point in my career because of like my situation that I was in.
Yeah, and that's why on flip side I took the different approach. I basically just scouting and developing was my.
That's kind of what C9 does.
Because I couldn't compete with all of these guys. Yeah, but the difference is C9 has raised over $300 million. As a matter of fact, without getting too into it, we were finalists for a round with the WWE, and I had everyone in my camp. Like everyone. I'm talking like Xavier Wood. Like I'm talking like New Day. Like, bro, we're cool. Like, I had like people from the inside, like, yo, you got to go with these guys. You got to go with these guys. I had people on the content side that run the up, down, down channel. And Cloud9 won the bid, right? Because Cloud9 has, you know, right? Big name, you know, whatever. They're sexier, you know, blah, blah, blah. These guys raised close to $300 million, bro. So, like, at the end of the day, it is what it is. But, I mean, yeah, you can. I'll just say this. If you weren't fiscally responsible, I don't feel bad for you during the esports winter, right? I know teams that have been fiscally responsible, and those are the guys that I obviously are very sympathetic and empathetic and will obviously help. But there are a bunch of orgs that basically just did this and made it worse, right?
Yeah.
So, and those guys are large in part responsible for the problems that we're having today that Riot then has to fucking rectify. So I am also empathetic towards Riot because I know they don't make a lot of money from Valorant. And this is, and people complain about like, yo, why are skins so expensive? Hey guys, you play a game for free.
Facts,
you play
bro.
one of the hottest esports games for free, and none of you understand server costs. And they don't understand edge networks, and they don't understand sort of like, yo, we need lower ping, we need lower ping. Well, that is expensive as shit, bro.
It's so expensive.
Like, what are we talking about, bro?
Yeah.
So, like, people don't realize this. And, yeah, you know, and then esports, I mean, you know, you're on the Talon side, you get paid a lot, sure. They put out a great show, they make money, people buy skins, people support the game, they get sponsorships and partners like Red Bull and all this. Yeah, for sure. But I would venture to guess that they are still year over year in the deficit, which is why they've scaled back on tier 2 and GC.
Which sucks so bad because like it only helps the game out more.
Right.
You know, like having future talent and
for sure
more eyes on everything. But it's financially tough though.
Right. My complaint about those things in the past that I've said on the show come from a place where there are solutions to get out of this problem that they are not finding or pulling the trigger on. But the reality is they are losing money in probably every single Valorant league. But it's a passion project for Riot, and Riot is assuming that that they will survive long enough to host an NFL type league with all their games, and that'll be the Super League. That would be the inevitable big league, right? So everybody's investing in something, whether it's something as small as a passion. Back to your YFP example, or flip side, actually, because that was really what that was. To your point, we didn't lose money. Flipside basically broke even every year, and yet we couldn't raise money because all the VCs said, "Oh, you're not showing enough growth." Yeah, bro, because we're not going massively into debt, brother. But it is what it is, right? So, you know, like, you know, you got those situations, and you got the basically VC money that came in, splashing it around, that are now trying to figure out, you know, how they can make the money back or get it back. And Riot is in some ways responsible for both and trying to make it work for both, even though, you know, using game theory, some people are playing the long game, some people aren't. And that's a fucking very hard position for Riot to be in. And I don't ultimately know where it's going to go, where it's going to land. But technically speaking, we should be fortunate that they're continuing to do this despite, because you saw Champs this year. Champ was amazing. People are going to complain about production. Okay, cool, but that's a different element. Champs was awesome.
It was fucking great. Honestly, even like all the events were great. Like the Shanghai event, fucking dope, bro. Like that venue was so fucking sick, man. It's very impressive. Like that venue they got for Shanghai, like people like Taylor Swift have performed in there, bro. You know what I mean? Like big time fucking people. They had a hockey game there, like a I don't know what it was. I think maybe an Olympic.
Wait, China likes hockey?
Bro, they had an NHL game in that stadium, bro. It was something
crazy.
like.
I don't like hockey.
Bro, they had They had a UFC, bro. They had a UFC fight there, like a big one.
Yeah, you look Caucasian. I don't, so I have no idea about hockey, bro. My bad, bro.
Bro, I played hockey, but yeah,
I know.
What else? They had like pretty much any type of like big artist, like concert artist, whether it's rock, country, whatever, hip hop, even. I think they had like Kanye West there. You know what I mean? Like they like big time shit, bro. At that venue. Yeah, I mean that Mercedes-Benz Arena is no joke, bro.
Yeah,
like
I
that thing
I
was
wish I would have went.
Huge.
We fucking suck, and you know.
Yeah, bro, get better, bro. Make it to
bro. We fucking
make it to Thailand, bro. Make it to Thailand, bro. Stop
everyone,
around.
bro. Thailand.
If you don't make it to Thailand with a Thai roster, bro, yo, that might be the make it or break it.
Pressure for that, bro. Cruz and everybody already talks about it. So Talon is good. Like I'm not gonna say Talon are like Like,
you guys better go either way, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
bro, low key though, everybody's putting pressure on us about that. Like, bro, if you motherfuckers don't fucking make it, like, it's all right, my bad, bro. We got you, bro. Chill. So yeah,
nah,
we
you gotta hit him
figure
with
it out.
the. You gotta hit him with the. Listen, all that matters is chaps.
Yeah, I try,
But this one's different.
I'm pretty
huh?
sure they would sell their
This one's-
testicles for fucking this Masters in Thailand, bro. Because it's a big deal for them and like crws and Primi and everybody, and that's why like
That would be
our off
fire.
season is gonna be taken seriously because look what happened to us at Champs. We fumbled the bag.
Yeah.
Doing it for Masters Thailand will be even worse.
Yep.
Because that's their home. You can imagine the Korean teams, right? They all fucking shit the bed. Well, technically not DRX, but think about how fucking
DRX played pretty
Genji
well.
felt bad. Fuck Champs. Genji felt bad because it was in Seoul, bro.
They win in Shanghai, and then a Chinese team wins in Seoul.
Bro, you know how hurt I was?
Seoul, yeah.
I'll tell you how hurt I was. You know how hurt I was that we didn't make Champs in LA? First off, I got fired before that because listen, I don't give a fuck. Because me and Jamie just can't get along, right? Me and Jamie kept fighting. The world knows. It is what it is, right? So, obviously, Furia didn't make it. You know how hurt I was that we didn't make it in LA? Me being an American. It's finally in America. And I'm watching, I actually haven't even told Ethan this, and I saw him actually. Shout out to him and Kelly. I spent some time with them. I mean, it wasn't much, but I spent some time with them at Champs. I cried when Ethan won.
Really?
And I cried because Ethan won. It would have been the same if it was Hiko. It would have been the same if it was Nick. It would have been the same. It's not because it was Ethan. It was because of what Ethan represented. Right? So, like, I'm sitting in the crowd. I think I forget who I was with. I'm pretty sure I was with Funhaver and a bunch of other people. But I remember, like, it was that emotional for me to see one of us, or, what I consider one of us, like one of my guys, close the deal.
Yeah.
Right? And obviously without me, right? So, I wasn't crying because of the ego thing of, like, it wasn't me. It was more joy that it was him. I did not get emotional. Like, you weren't there, but I was with, like, Alex and PRX and a bunch of other people. I was not emotional seeing KANGKANG go off. I was like, good shit, King. You know what I'm saying? Because totally different experience for me, right?
Yeah.
But it's in America. An American team wins it. But one of my guys, an American boy that, when he started this game, it was me and him, plus obviously some of our other boys. He reaches the pinnacle at home.
It's crazy.
It moves like me to tears, right?
Yeah, that's everything you could ever. I mean, I cried too. I was in the crowd watching it, and I was like, bro, like, also just seeing, like, because I was a pro. You've been a pro before. Just you understand, like, how much it truly means.
Yeah,
because that's everything you're playing for.
For sure,
So
bro.
when you see somebody else accomplish it,
100%. That's exactly
you're
what
like,
it is.
oh
Bro,
my
the
god,
ego
bro.
in me.
Like,
I had to talk to you about this. You exalted everybody else. I'm gonna go there. Why? Instinct. Something in me just says that's the right move. Remember, I had this conversation with you guys. You know what it was? Secretly, I could tell you most of it. Ethan won it. My ego, I had to go do it. I have to be next. I have to be next. There's just no fucking way I can't. Like, I will never forgive myself if I can't. And this is how I feel about every game, whether it's CS. Look, I never won in CS. I never even won in Dota, actually. Like, there's just sometimes you try and you try and you try, you can't, bro. We made Legends in CS and all that stuff. I just couldn't do it. But in Rocket League, fighting games, all that other shit, Crossfire, yeah. So I have a pretty good record at, like, when I'm, like, locked in, that's what I have to do. I fucking had to do it. So that's why, I'm in Talon, and I'm a psycho at Talon. You know our hours, you know what we're doing, all that stuff, right? Mm-hmm. But that's why. You don't think the Korean teams feel a million times worse than we did?
Yeah.
Because Pacific was supposed to win the fucking thing. I was one of the people like, yo, all 4 teams in Pacific are going to playoffs. Any one of us are going to win this. Bro, one team made it, and it was DRX, the team I thought that would do the least.
Shoot.
Right? So what the fuck, man? So that's why, like I told you, like I feel like, bro, am I just lost? Like, what is this? But can you imagine how shitty it felt for EDG in China and Shanghai losing?
Oh, dude,
The
I
way
could
they
see it.
lost?
The way that they lost was so bad for them because their brethren had a better performance than them, and they're supposed to be, the best Chinese
The
team.
guys,
Bro.
right?
They like the dude. I was with KANGKANG afterwards. Like we went out, like me, him, and Boaster. We did this like little event thing together, and yeah, we talked a lot about Valorant. And like I was like, bro, like you're a god, just like just do it at champs. You know what I mean? Do it at champs. Like we know you're good. You saw that you're your own teammates, not teammates, but like your brethren. I should say on FPX and even DFM, right? Was it DFM or DRG?
Yeah.
These teams are pushing these international teams to the distance. You guys just had so much pressure on you at home in this moment. They couldn't overcome it. DRX tried to overcome it. And to be fair, I think if Genji didn't have to play Sentinels, I think if it was any other team, I think they would have made it out of groups and made a run.
I agree with you.
Like I think Sen was like one of the only teams that could do
That's
what
why
they
on
did.
the show we said this is basically the team here is going to go to the finals because we felt like that was going to be the case. And I still emphatically believe that if Genji made it out of that group, they're probably in grand finals.
Yep.
But it's
I agree.
What the fuck?
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's just insane, bro. Now, I will say though, I don't to my knowledge, Fnatic losing to Gen G wasn't the problem. Fnatic losing a foot to me in Shanghai was just troll, in my opinion. That was the one I'm like.
It's just weird because that team at that time, they just like had Fnatic's number, bro. Low key.
No, for sure. No. Foot is like low key, like good. They're like surprising, but that's the team they have to get over because they have the most experience.
If they would have beat them, like, maybe they would have gotten the confidence,
Yeah. Like that's the team. That's the shit that you got to put away. But yeah, I mean, it's just unlucky. But yeah, man, like, what the fuck happened to Pacific, bro? I don't know, man. And I'm one of the people to blame, technically, because like I said, Delusions of Grandeur. I was so confident we were about to just 2-0 in this group. It was about to be clean, bro. Especially like most of the way on Bind, I'm like, Lev is fucked. They're gonna lose this. They're gonna get owned next map.
Close.
I got
Almost.
Privy, bro. Just unlucky, bro. What the fuck you gonna do, man?
Yeah. Anyways, so that's pretty much the end of this episode of Spike Talk. Not really much more else to talk about in terms of what's going on in the scene. But just to give some context of what we're gonna do in the future, we're gonna be covering Ascension for sure. And we want to also cover Game Changers. And you might even go to the event at Game Changers, correct? So we might even meet up there. And yeah, maybe if I get invited to, don't know yet. I'll be casting Game Changers in October from home. It's remote. But yeah, so we're going to be planning on covering that in the off season, having some special guests on as well. And then probably answering more of your questions. I think at some point we want to do like a live Q&A where you guys can ask anything you want, and maybe we'll stream it on YouTube or something where you can come in and ask whatever you want to me or Frost or maybe even a guest that we have on the show. Who knows? But stuff like that, we're trying to get pro players on that competed as well in this tournament that aren't just on Talon. We're trying to get, some of the guys from Leviathan on, give us their experience throughout the whole year with a mixed roster, etc.
Yeah.
And yeah, so big things in the mix coming. So make sure you guys tune in and keep looking out because we're not slowing down. We're going to keep ramping up, if anything. And maybe even branch out to some other games. Me and Frost have been playing a lot of Deadlock. I've been uploading consistent content on Deadlock as well on my own channel.
I spoke to Ethan about it. I was like, bro, you got to play it. Actually, that was one of the things I told him. He was like, is it that good for real? It's like, bro, it's cracked.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
So good. Yeah.
It's crazy. But all right, that's it. Episode 19. We'll definitely on the next episode definitely get to the viewer questions for sure because we have to. You know what I mean? We have to at this point. There's not much to talk about. So yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching,